Welcome back to our channel, Hume's Little Homestead. Pretty early in the morning, I was laying there thinking about the past 14 weeks. This last week has been the hardest week of my life, hands down, ever. I hear the ducks, they can hear me talking and they want out. But the 13 weeks before that were some of the happiest moments of my life, and I was thinking about the activities that I was able to do while I was pregnant with Liam. I was pretty sick during this pregnancy, and although it was a short pregnancy and it wasn't full-term pregnancy, it was still a really, really joyous and happy pregnancy, and I was so grateful to be pregnant again. I was so grateful to have our last pregnancy, and I just kind of wanted to highlight some of the things that I was able to do on these last 14 weeks. I was able to go on a 10-mile hike to Mount Humphreys, and at that point I believe I was 8 or 9 weeks pregnant. We had not announced it yet, and I wasn't even sure if I should go on the hike, but now I'm so grateful because I'm thinking, you know, although Liam's life was really short, I got to take him on an adventure, and I remember during the hike just feeling his spirit with me, and it was a really, really neat thing. And during pregnancy, I have always felt, I don't know, when you're pregnant you get really hot and warm and like you overheat easy because your blood vessels, like there's a scientific reason for you to be warmer during pregnancy. But something I thought as well, and I never realized it before, was, and I believe this now, is that that person's spirit is inside of you while you're growing that baby. And I believe now, and I wouldn't say I never believed this before, I just never really thought of it before, but I believe now that the baby's spirit enters the body as soon as it starts developing. And I believe that the baby is alive the moment from conception. And I've always believed that the human life starts the moment of conception. I don't believe, I know there's a lot of scientific terms, zygote, it's not really a human fetus until a certain week. I know there's these things like in favor of abortion and things like that, but I've never believed that. I've always believed that the moment of conception is a very important moment for that human, for that person's life. And after losing 2 of my babies, one at 11 weeks and one at 13 weeks, and seeing the difference in their bodies and how they formed, I have now confirmation that the human life begins the moment of conception. And I might get negative comments on this, but I don't really care, to be honest. This is my belief, and now that I've had 7 pregnancies, 5 full-term and 2 that the babies died inside of me, and then I had the babies, I believe those babies got their body, they served their purpose, and they finished their earthly mission. Although it was short, although the first one was only 11 weeks and the second one was only 13 weeks, their earthly mission was very important. And although their earthly mission didn't include living on earth like most humans live, they were humans too, and they lived out their earthly mission. And so I've had a lot of peace in this, and actually I'm so grateful that we honored both Skyler and Liam yesterday. And I'm so grateful that we actually were able to bury Liam in a family plot. It brought a lot of peace and comfort to me. And I'm so grateful that we named our babies. And some of the comments and messages I've been getting from people who have had miscarriages is that they've been revisiting the idea of naming their babies. And on our first miscarriage, I thought, that's a little strange. I don't know this person. I didn't get to meet, because we never name our babies until they're born, until we're in the hospital. We have names picked out, but previously we never named our babies until we held our newborn baby. And so to be naming 2 babies and we did hold Liam, and he was a perfectly formed little boy. But we did not get to hold Skyler. He wasn't perfectly formed, and we don't even know if he was a boy or a girl. I say he because we've had dreams and we've had confirmation, religious personal confirmation that he was a boy. But I might die and get to meet Skyler, and she might have been a girl. And so, but I say he because I do feel like I personally feel like he was a boy, but we don't know gender for sure on Skyler. So even if you don't know gender, there's a lot of gender neutral names, and the doctor is the one who encouraged me to name our baby to give us peace. And it did bring peace with Skyler, especially because of the events that happened and the way that we handled everything. We didn't really include our kids in it happened in the middle of the night, so we buried Skyler's body right then. And then we went to the hospital the next day. And so our kids we did plant a flower garden with the kids, but they didn't really know that we call it Skyler's garden, but they didn't know that was where we actually buried Skyler. And we were able to tell them when we buried Liam, because they're like, well, where's Skyler? Aren't we going to put Skyler with Liam? Because I put the 2 little teddy bears in Liam's tiny casket that Ryan built. So as hard as it's been to lose 2 babies this way, having the second one has brought a lot of confirmations to me about our earthly life and our earthly mission. And being able to reflect on my pregnancies with Skyler, I had never experienced a miscarriage, so I had no idea and no inclination that would happen. I just pretty much thought that everything was going to be fine and I was going to have a baby in October. Right now I would have a newborn. And so I didn't have any inclination that would happen. And I'm grateful because I went through that pregnancy with total bliss. Like, I had a really fun 11 weeks. And I want to share some of the things that Skyler and Liam got to do while I was pregnant with them and honor them in that way, because they did live. They lived, although their life was way shorter than most of us get to live. Most of us get to live to our 70s or 80s even. And, but I think it's hard when you lose a baby or a child because we don't understand why their life is cut short. I lost a cousin when I was a little girl and she was only 3 years old. And I never understood why her life was only a 3-year life. And why some people only live a couple of years or maybe even into their teenagers and then they pass away as a teenager. And I don't know if we'll ever understand why these people's lives are shorter, but I do have a really strong belief in however long you're here on this earth was the time you were meant to be here to learn the things that you needed to learn. And although death is really hard, I do believe that we'll see all of our loved ones and everyone who's passed away on this earth again. So here's some of the things that Skyler and Liam got to do when I was pregnant with them. And I also want to include
on Monday.
What's the question? What's the question, Ryan?
Where do babies come from, guys?
The belly button.
They come out of a belly button? Belly. Very excited that it bloomed this first year. I wasn't sure if it was going to do that. It's beautiful though. So interesting and pretty.
I know, like, it's not weird, but I'm like, I don't know how to run